Councilmember Graham.
Thank you. First of all, I appreciate, as we've talked a lot, all of your work and the work of your organization to bring this issue forward. I have one question that I'll ask of you, and I'll ask also of some of the other participants. What, from your perspective, are the risks that the city faces of signing an agreement that is contrary to the '94 agreement? And then I have a follow-up question.
Well, are you, if you're referring to the MOU?
Mm-hmm. No. What of any proposal as we go through this process? Okay. What are the risks, looking at this from the big picture, not just the MOU before us? Would the city face of signing anything that is contrary or agreeing to anything that is contrary to the '94 agreement?
If the city had granted a permit and we had not gone to mediation, we would have gone to court, I guess, is part of the thing. My organization would be prepared to lead a charge again to get back and enforce what we believed were the essential rights we had under the '94 agreement. And I guess even without that, we would still be bringing some of that concern to the table. But the agreement is a very important piece. So if the proposal, as it had come forward in 2007, had been given a permit, we'd have gone through a court process. And if we hadn't gone to mediation, I don't know, another 12 or 20 years of wrangling before you can figure out what the land use would be, unless you figured out a way to stop the process. So I guess in lieu of a best negotiated settlement. So.
Okay. The follow-up question that I have is looking at the draft MOU before us. It's written in there several times that there's a possibility of revising or amending the '94 agreement. And so, in the spirit of what you just said, of the importance of maintaining the intent of the '94 agreement, and considering that this MOU is consistent with that agreement, what type of amendments would you foresee to that original agreement? Or is it too early in the process?
I would say it's kind of too early to say. In some ways, we would prefer to let the '94 agreement stand and amend with a further with an understanding that this was an acceptable secondary proposal. Okay. I would not personally just vacate much of any of our position. So we'll talk about that as it comes along. But we've got a pretty strong sense that we have we speak for the water right, and having otherwise wouldn't have a voice in this discussion, by the way.
And having the '94 agreement stand and having this be a second proposal, is that an option that you foresee as one of several that could come out of this process that we're about to embark on potentially?
Sure, that's an option. I think there's great potential that there would be a very positive outcome. I personally, I spent all this time working on that historic district stuff and was really excited about it. And I really thought that it was just going to, we kind of got the seed of it out there and expected it to flower and just take off and be a great thing for the community. And I was excited to come visit the historic district. It hasn't happened that way. It hasn't worked out at all. But I still think it's a great potential. I still think it's could be an amazing, bring an amazing renaissance to the region. So I would be very hopeful if there are solutions out there that could be warmly embraced by the city. Not everybody might be excited about some of the changes in the original proposal.
It's definitely an adventure. Council, any other questions for Mr. Skjervold?